Hi there. Today I'm going to tie a roach pattern. For this we're going to use. This is not going to be a very difficult fly. We're going to use a few materials, not that many, simply to keep the cost a bit in check. As many times before, we start off with the bundle of bucktail, and today, because this is going to be a roach pattern. No, not a roach. Sorry, a perch pattern. A perch. I was messing around with the different types of fish in English. It's going to be a perch pattern. So it's going to be an olive pattern, and we're going to use the new very cool color of Flytying Magnum in olive for this. So first off, as many times before, I simply tie down a bundle of olive bucktail, so it has this corona effect here. Like so, and take the old faithful half of a pen, like so, and pull this backwards. Like that. Boom, boom, boom. So the color scheme for this is gonna be, of course, olive and black, red. Olive, black and red, like so. I should zoom a bit more out, like so. And first off, I'm gonna use the underlying flash here is gonna be this black and red one to simply add some contrast. This is the new Magnum Flytying from Hedron, and this is a grizzly Flytying, it's called, simply because it's two-toned. It has striations of different colors and looks absolutely awesome in the water. Really cool product. This is something that is not going to cannot of course completely take over from saddle feathers, but it's a very nice and fairly easy and always available substitute. So I'm gonna use the saddle feathers still, of course, every now, but this is a pretty cool alternative. It's not, of course, not at all as expensive as the saddle hackles are. The saddle hackles looks awesome, but they are unfortunately quite expensive, and supplies stocks are difficult to get your hands on and stuff like that. So, like that, and as you can see, here the effect is pretty neat. I'm simply gonna take the rest of this and fold this backwards also, like so. This is going to be covered in a lot of other stuff, so this is basically just kind of like the striations, the stripes on the perch here, and the red things on the fins as well. So I'm gonna take another bundle of bucktail. Again, I'm gonna tie this down so it points forward. Just need to have a bit of thread up here. To have something solid to tie this down onto. Like this. And now I'm gonna take my olive color, and this new olive color Flytying Magnum is very good. I've been waiting a long time to finally be able to get some of this in olive, because olive is just a magnificent color, and I talked to the guys at Hedron a lot of times about if they could please make this, but for some reason olive was difficult for them. But now finally they have, and I really like the result. This is a very cool color. And they've done a very good job. So I'm gonna double this and then double this again, and I'm making sure that none of the end sear is even in length. And then I'm gonna cut the loop here, but I'm gonna cut it different places, so so it's not gonna be completely uniform in length either, as you can see, like that. I take all of this and again make sure it's distributed all the way around here. Like that. And this looks freaking awesome. Really, really awesome. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this the easy way. So here I'm just gonna make my refinish like that. Pull this tight. Cut off. Take a fish mask from Flyman. Attach this to my tube. Those are hard to get off once they're on. Simply, I should have ensured that everything was nice and in the correct place. And I simply use the fish mask here to get the rest of the material pointing backwards like this. And as you can see, here is fairly large, very, very light, very easy to cast fly, and everything I've tied down is fastened securely on the under this head, so it will stay exactly where I put it, and none of the pike teeth will actually get near it. And to finish this off, I take a bit of super glue here and simply attach an eye. And I like to use these French guys. I have them in the shop. I think I have the best price of these eyes on the entire market, because I found where they're produced and simply just bought them myself to skip all the middle dealers. And then I add an eye here, and you have a perfectly looking, easy castable, pretty awesome pike fly, ready for action, ready to rock and roll. This is easy, and it really, really looks good, also in the water. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, and of course, since it's on a tube, you can, as I like to do, you can of course add wriggle tails and rattles and all this stuff. That's a very good idea. If you haven't checked out the wriggle tails, please do, because they are simply awesome.